The bodies of filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife, photographer Michele Reiner, have been returned to their family following autopsies conducted by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, officials confirmed. Rob Reiner, 78, and Michele Reiner, 70, were found dead earlier this week inside their home in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. Authorities said both deaths were caused by sharp force injuries and have been ruled homicides. A complete medical examiner's report is not expected for up to 90 days, according to the coroner's office. Their son, Nick Reiner, 32, has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the deaths. He was arrested several hours after the bodies were discovered and is currently being held without bail. Prosecutors have not disclosed a motive, and Nick Reiner has not entered a plea. His arraignment is scheduled for January 7, 2026. The investigation remains ongoing. According to law enforcement officials, concern arose after a massage therapist attempted to contact Rob and Michele Reiner and was unable to reach them. After repeated failed attempts, the therapist notified a family member. The couple's daughter, Romy Reiner, 27, went to the residence to check on her parents. According to reporting by the New York Times, Romy discovered her father's body inside the home. In distress, she left the residence without realizing that her mother had also been attacked in another area of the house. Emergency responders later arrived at the scene and confirmed that both Rob and Michele Reiner were deceased. Authorities have not publicly detailed the condition in which the bodies were found, citing the ongoing nature of the investigation. Officials confirmed there were no immediate signs of forced entry into the residence. Los Angeles Police Department officers secured the property shortly after the discovery. Homicide detectives were assigned to the case later that day. Investigators have not released details about the exact timeline of the deaths, though prosecutors believe the killings occurred during the early morning hours of Sunday, December 14. Law enforcement sources said the absence of forced entry suggested the assailant may have been known to the victims. However, officials cautioned against speculation and said multiple investigative avenues were pursued during the initial phase of the inquiry. Approximately 6 hours after the discovery of the bodies, Nick Reiner was taken into custody near the University of Southern California, authorities confirmed. Prosecutors later announced that Nick Reiner had been formally charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office stated that it intends to pursue sentencing enhancements, including special circumstances related to multiple victims and the alleged use of a dangerous weapon. Nick Reiner is currently being held without bail. Court records indicate that he has not yet entered a plea. His arraignment is scheduled for early January 2026. Authorities have not publicly disclosed evidence supporting the charges, citing legal restrictions and the pending court proceedings. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner confirmed that autopsies were conducted on both Rob and Michele Reiner. Preliminary findings indicate that both deaths resulted from sharp force injuries. Officials emphasized that a full, detailed medical report, including toxicology results and precise timelines, will not be available for several weeks, potentially up to 90 days. Medical examiner officials declined to comment further on the nature of the injuries or whether additional forensic findings could affect the case. Rob Reiner is widely known for his career as a director, producer, and actor, with a body of work spanning several decades. His films include When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men, and Stand By Me, among others. Michele Reiner was a photographer who largely remained out of the public spotlight. The couple married in 1989 after meeting while Reiner was directing When Harry Met Sally. Friends and colleagues have described their marriage as long-standing and close. Together, they had 3 children, Nick, Jake, and Romy. In a statement released on December 17, Jake and Romy Reiner described the loss of their parents as devastating. The loss of our parents and best friends is an unimaginable pain we are experiencing every moment of the day, the statement said. The siblings requested privacy as they grieve and did not address the criminal case involving their brother. Nick Reiner has not released a public statement through attorneys or representatives. Sources previously told People that Rob Reiner and Nick Reiner were involved in a loud argument at a party hosted by Conan O'Brien days before the deaths. Investigators have not confirmed whether the argument is related to the alleged crimes. Authorities have emphasized that no motive has been publicly established and that any reported prior disagreements should not be interpreted as evidence. The district attorney's office declined to comment on whether the reported argument is part of the prosecution's case. Nick Reiner has previously spoken openly about personal struggles, including addiction and periods of homelessness beginning in his teenage years. A source close to the Reiner family told People that Rob and Michele Reiner made repeated efforts to support their son over the years. They tried everything, giving him space, keeping him close, the source said. His struggles are deep. It's a parent's worst nightmare. Authorities have not indicated whether Nick Reiner's past struggles are relevant to the criminal charges. The case is expected to proceed slowly due to its complexity and the severity of the charges. If convicted, Nick Reiner could face life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, depending on the outcome of sentencing enhancement requests. Legal experts note that first-degree murder charges require prosecutors to establish premeditation, though specific legal strategies have not been made public. Defense attorneys have not yet outlined their approach. Following news of the deaths, members of the Hollywood community expressed shock and sympathy. Sources told People that friends of the family, including Billy Crystal and Albert Brooks, have been closely supporting Jake and Romy Reiner. Several industry figures have reportedly taken steps to shield the siblings from media attention. Public tributes have been limited, with many choosing to remain silent out of respect for the family. Law enforcement officials continue to review forensic evidence, digital records, and witness statements. Authorities have not indicated whether additional arrests are expected. Investigators emphasize that the case remains active and urge the public to avoid speculation while legal proceedings unfold. The deaths of Rob Reiner and Michele Singer Reiner have left a prominent Hollywood family grappling with loss while navigating a complex and highly publicized criminal case. As the investigation continues and the legal process moves forward, many questions remain unanswered, including the motive behind the alleged crimes and the events leading up to the deaths. Officials have stated that additional information will be released as appropriate through the court system.